Cool, guys. So again, a pleasure being here to present equity crowdfunding and what we've done with Seedrs and how we help climate tech businesses and sustainable businesses to help them to raise capital for their round. So yeah, pleasure here to be here, and please do, guys, send some comments, questions. Let's make this as interactive as possible. So let's start. So equity crowdfunding. So what if you could build a community of investors? Look, I think one of the coolest things to perform an equity crowdfunding campaign is basically that you will be able to build a community of investors, a community of loyal ambassadors. This might not be institutional investors, but these are retail investors, people within financial backgrounds, people that own businesses, but they are ultimately looking to present and provide businesses, particularly in the early stage, with small checks, and I think that's pretty powerful to build a community of ambassadors, to build a tribe of super fans. I think that is really helpful for the growth of the campaign. These super fans, they will talk more and make noise about the business. They will refer you to new clients, to new ambassadors, to new partners, perhaps, and they will engage more with the business than regular customers, really. So it's important to stop building a community of ambassadors and super fans, which will help you for your future growth. So why do sustainable companies come to us and see us as a really good and alternative vehicle of financing? Well, firstly, the first thing is that Seedrs is an equity crowdfunding is fast and efficient. It's a quick way, an alternative way to raise funds in less than 2 months, as an example. And the main reason is that individuals make decisions faster than institutions. So in less than 2 months, you could be, raising 300K, 500K, even 1 million pounds, even 2 million pounds from a campaign in Seedrs that normally lasts 30 days in the platform. So I think that's pretty useful and pretty powerful. And particularly for B2B clean tech, big infrastructure businesses, that have heavy capex, it's a quick and alternative way to raise capital efficiently. Again, also from a B2C side perspective, it's a way to build a community, and at the end, it works as a customer acquisition exercise as well. And from a brand perspective, equity crowdfunding is ultimately a PR and marketing campaign. At Seedrs, we have 500,000 impressions on our website per month. So it's 500,000 eyeballs looking at your brand name. It's also, it's a huge brand awareness piece. We have a 60,000 individuals that are our active audience, that are people that have invested at least once in the past 3 months. And we have an active user base, active users, an active investor base that it's about 25,000 individuals. And these are people within financial backgrounds, people that own businesses, that are CEOs of other companies, and that looks at startups as a small asset class within their portfolio of investments. They understand the risk of investing in startups. So they're doing more than 2 small checks on a monthly basis for businesses. So it's a huge brand awareness tool. So equity crowdfunding is just more than raising capital. It's a quick way to raise investment. It's a way to build a community of super fans, ambassadors, and it's a huge brand awareness and validation exercise. So a little bit about Seedrs and what we have achieved so far, mainly in 2021, in a full year. We funded around 310 deals. So we're the most active funder in the UK. We have invested 696 million pounds across those deals. And we have had 171,000 individual investments made. So building a community of enthusiasm and super users who can be used as advocate investors to fuel your future growth. I think that's pretty powerful. And again, the mission for Seedrs is to democratize access to private companies. So I'm really fascinated about that. Please, guys, if you have any questions, again, comments, feel free to get them. Cool. So this next slide is a couple of businesses within sustainability, within climate tech that has raised with us. So a really cool business called Cheeky Panda. They have done 6 rounds with us. I think it's like a 78 million pound valuation business. They basically, what they do is that they are sustainable, low carbon bamboo tissue type of products. Toilet papers, napkins, and it's all made out of sustainable products. We have Nova Innovation with a Tidal Energy. We have had All Plants, which is a plant-based type of meals preparation food business, and we have had Macrebor, which is they use waste, plastic waste, to create roads, and we have had a lot of other businesses within biofuel, biomass type of the industry, agri-tech, wind farms, wind energy, solar energy. So we really work across all sectors within sustainability, basically. So a lot of these businesses also really come to us for there's not sound. E-Fuels Technology saying that it's not sound. Can you hear me, guys? There is no sound. Can you hear me, guys? Just want to make sure that everyone is hearing me. Okay, so sound works well for me. Okay, thanks, Krista. Thanks, Evelyn. E-Fuels Technology, maybe there's something within your laptop or something. Okay, thanks, Ben. I can hear you. Cool. Awesome, guys. Thank you for that. Cool. Okay, so I'll keep moving on. So I was saying that many businesses come to us for a second round or a third round or a fourth round, or even fifth and sixth. I think the average rounds that people come to us is about 4 across all the businesses that we have worked with. And why is this? There's many advantages. Again, it's going to be easier to work with businesses from a due diligence perspective. We have already done a due diligence on their business. It's going to be way faster because we would be already in their cap table, and you will be able to do even larger rounds. So we have seen an average growth of 206% in the amount of investment through Seedrs on the second round, or a 58% growth in the number of investors. So it works sort of like a snowball effect, where the first time you raise with us, let's say you gain 200 investors, and the second time you will get the same but plus more. And if you go to a third round, fourth round, fifth round, you start building more brand ambassadors, which I think is pretty powerful. So again, many businesses come to us for second, third, fourth, fifth rounds. I think there's good value there. So how to successfully crowdfund? So there's 3 main components or 3 main pillars for a successful crowdfunding campaign, and this is how equity crowdfunding campaign works. So basically, we act as a co-investor, or as a top-up investor, or as a follow-on investor. We do not act as a full investor. So businesses come to us with some sort of like lead investment already committed from somebody, from a private investor or an institution. And what we do is sort of like plug into the round and help them raise another chunk of the overall round that they're looking to raise. So the first pillar is having a lead investor. Then the second pillar is tapping into the business community. And this means, tapping into your social media followers, into your customers, your most engaged, active customers within your mailing list. How you communicate with businesses is really important for any business, really. And I think that things like email marketing have done really well to bring your community to become ambassadors of and participate in that equity crowdfunding campaign with Seedrs. I think that's powerful. That's the second pillar. And then we have the third pillar, which is obviously our network of investors. And that will help us reach 100% of target. So our network of investors, we have to basically take the first two components to have the third one, because our network of investors will invest if businesses have lead investors, if businesses have a good amount of people backing the business from their friends and family, from their colleagues, LinkedIn connections, because it's really important to build confidence in the business through that and create that momentum for then to attract the Seedrs network investor base, basically. And that will help us achieve 100% of the target. Cool. So again, if from a lead investment perspective, you own your private network. So from a lead investor perspective, these are the people who will actually set the terms of the round, set the valuation with the founders, and will agree on share prices, share classes, etc. And this can be anyone. This can be friends, family, professional network, friends of the business, angel investors, institution, industry experts. This can be anyone, really. And from a community side of things, again, as I mentioned, it's about tapping into your social media followers, tapping into your community, into your newsletter, mailing lists, and potentially offer loyalty schemes and rewards if they invest in the campaign. So I think that's pretty powerful. And the biggest thing here is to get basically your customers to become even ambassadors of the business. And again, they will be likely to engage more with the business than just regular clients. So again, a little bit more of information in depth about cool businesses that have raised with us. Cheeky Panda, the last raise, which was their 6th round with us, they raised around 3.6 million pounds across 1,974 investors. That's pretty huge. That's pretty cool. This is basically a consumer goods business. It's a B2C business. So it also works for them as a customer acquisition exercise, which I think is pretty cool. Then we have MacReport, completely different business. It's a B2B business. So they do not count with a massive community of investors, but still they get really good traction because our investor base are sophisticated investors. They're not just once in a time investor. No, these are people that are investing constantly in different businesses to work within that percentage of the portfolio of investments that is for high risk investments, right? But this business did pretty well. 2 million pounds from 2,692 investors. I think that's pretty powerful. It's just amazing. They were able to raise quickly, efficiently, and with large number of brand ambassadors that will help them make noise about the business, to build credibility and validation into the business. I think that's amazing. That's pretty powerful. There's another really cool business is gonna be raising with us soon as again for I believe 6th or 7th. 4th or 5th or 5th round, I believe. Their last round, they raised around 900K, 951K for 1,221 investors. So this shows that there's really a huge appetite for climate tech businesses, for businesses within sustainability. Our investors are looking to invest into this type of businesses, as you can see. And even the average ticket size tends to be really high for this type of business, around 2,000 pounds. So from an equity crowdfunding perspective, that's really cool. So let's get into the campaign timeline then. How again, I've mentioned in the past that is a quick way to raise funds, quick and efficient, right? So what's the timeline? I think from start to finish, it takes about 2 to 3 months, the whole process basically, until we ultimately transfer the funds to the business bank account. So how does this look? You have that pre-launch phase where we will do a due diligence of your business. We will confirm your lead investment. You will share your brand assets with us and start creating the campaign page, the video, the preparation stage, basically. And this tends to last over a month or so. And you will have 3 people that will fully support you through this whole process. We have marketing, financial, and legal strategists that will fully support you with the campaign narrative. And the idea is to build a really good, compelling narrative that will touch the hearts of the investors. Then we will go live. We will go live firstly privately for 7 days. And this is a good way to start warming up investors as a soft launch. The idea is during private is for you to go out to your personal network of friends, family, customers, and start building a good amount of investors to build momentum to the campaign so that Seedrs' network of investors will be attracted to it. And then we will go public. Our public launch is about 30 days on the platform. We will list you among different businesses that are currently raising. Normally, it's around 20 businesses that are raising per month, around that. And again, our website has around 500,000 impressions per month. So it's 500,000 eyeballs looking at the different brands that we're looking to raise. So 30 days. And then we will close around. You will only have 1 shareholder under your cap table, which is Seedrs Nominee Limited. And we will represent the hundreds of backers that you will have from this investment. So we will handle all the admin and legal side of things, of issuing short certificates for those investors, issuing tax relief. So we will take all that hassle out of you. It's all included in our fees. And basically VC, you will have a clean cap table. Not, instead of having hundreds of investors on your cap table, you will only have 1, which is Seedrs. And we basically act as a very passive investor. So we won't sit in the board and actively make decisions. And then we will transfer the funds to your bank account. 2 to 3 months, let's say. So long-term opportunity, we have a good amount of businesses on our portfolio. First thing before we get into this slide is that we recently merged with a similar business called Republic in the US. Is a very forward-thinking type of same private investment ecosystem platform. Now we have become this global prestigious unicorn. And now our portfolio of businesses will have access to US investment in the future as well. So our strategy, again, is to become a complete investment platform, complete investment ecosystem platform. And not just focus on equity crowdfunding, even though it's our main and biggest product. That's our vision and mission, is to become that global private ecosystem, private investment ecosystem. So the cool things as a long-term opportunity is that, if you are Seedrs investors, you will be able to trade shares without needing to wait for an exit or an IPO or an acquisition, right? And I think that's pretty cool. And I think that's why we have attracted such a good, sophisticated investor base. And this means that it helps you and it encourages people to invest now, because the exit is not that far away. And we also perform secondaries. So for founders, for existing shareholders that are looking to, sell part of the shares and liquidate some of the shares, we can do secondary campaigns as well. And this will help the business to increase primary investment for the round that they're raising, to refresh their crowd advocacy, and to be able to provide liquidity for their employees and early shareholders. So I think it's pretty powerful. And I love sort of like the quote that this CEO from SafetyNet says, and I will quote it: "It is really important to us to provide exit opportunities to some of our existing shareholders. A great way for us to welcome new shareholders on board, building up new customers, community, passionate brand advocates without having to part with any additional equity." I think that's pretty powerful. So yes, guys, that was like a brief overview of what we do, of the businesses that we have worked within climate technology. Again, it's sustainability is one of the biggest sectors that has huge appetite from our investors. And please, any questions, will be more than glad to answer. I think Offerbecker asked, are there geographical limitations? Yes, there are. We are regulated by the FDA. There's a lot of regulations around equity crowdfunding. So first of all, we can only work with businesses in the UK and businesses that are based in any country within the European Union. Outside of that, we can't work with. When it comes to receiving investment from potential investors, we can only accept investment from investor space, again, in the UK, in Europe, and in some other jurisdictions like the UAE, many investors from Dubai, Singapore, Bahrain, Colombia, Peru. Sadly, from the US at this moment in time, we can't receive investment. But again, with the merger with this new company called Republic, and I think that will happen anytime soon. It's just a matter of regulations, basically. Cool, guys. Any other questions? I would love to, again, make this as interactive as possible. I would love to meet one of you. Can you work with companies from Norway, not EU, but EEA country? From Norway, yes, I believe we can do. I believe Norway is one of the jurisdictions that we work with. We have a complete European team. I'm based in the UK. I'm based in London. Be happy to make introductions to our European team. It's the way we work with European businesses is slightly different, but we can make it happen. Another question from Marcelo. If tomorrow we would like to start a crowdfunding campaign, how could you help us? From where to start? Again, the first thing, if you remember the three components of a successful equity crowdfunding campaign, first component is having a lead investor that supports the majority of the round and that set the terms of the round. Again, we act as a follow-on investor. So the first thing that you need to consider is having a lead investors that are committing into the round. Let's say you're raising a £1 million round and you say, look, Eduardo, I have 500K committed from a VC or different angel investors, let's say, can you help us get the other 500K? And I would say, yes, let's start the process. So the first thing to start and to start a process with Seedrs is having some funds being committed, some pre-commitment funds, basically, from any investor. It can be Marcelo, you have excellent. Well, so the way we would work is that we will have an introductory chat for me to understand a little bit more about the business, understand your challenges, your goals, your aims, try to understand if we fit into your fundraising campaign, into your fundraising round, sorry. And after having that chat, I will be much more equipped understanding, what timelines can we work with, what is realistically what we can bring to the table in terms of funding. So Marcelo, if you have, please do contact me after this through LinkedIn or through email, and we can have a chat and let you know how, understand a little bit more about the business and show you in depth on how we work with businesses. Again, from a time frame perspective, we could potentially be transferring your funds in 2 to 3 months time. Yeah, Marcelo, of course, I can send you my availability, and we can sort that out independently, separate from this presentation, of course. Yeah, I think the guys of Climate-KIC has my email, but you can find me on LinkedIn, and I can share my email there because I can't write on this chat. So yeah, my LinkedIn is basically Eduardo Cannizzo, which I forgot to include my name in this presentation. Sorry. But yes, Eduardo Cannizzo. You can find me in Seedrs. No worries, Marcelo. Pleasure. Would love to learn more about the business, really, and the team behind. So I can write on the chats, but I don't see that comment. And to see if I can. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Anyone, please. That's my email address for Seedrs, eduardo.cannizzo@seedrs.com. Please add me on LinkedIn. My line of communication is open for any questions, any thoughts you might have. Thanks, Krista, for sharing that email address. Please contact me. Even if you don't have nothing prepared, nothing lined up, and you want to understand a little bit more and have further conversation for me to give you advice on pitch decks or anything like that, yeah, I would love to hear more from you guys. Absolutely. Any more questions, guys? Would love to